Hello and welcome to another mystery beer review. It is me, Stu. Joining me is Tom.
Hey.
Yep. Thought I was going to be silent Tom there, but no. And tonight we are joined by some homebrew heroes. We've got Darren and David from my area. Already, I was like, wait, I was about to say your brewery name.
That was a terrible introduction.
Could I still call you BANDSVILLE?
Of course you can.
Okay.
From the beautiful kingdom of Fife, in Condors.
Yes, exactly. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello.
Thanks for being here, lads. We appreciate it.
And yes, you guys have been
past my bedtime, but I'm usually a late one.
I was gonna say you're looking a bit sleepy. Just maybe a cup of coffee or something. Just pep yourself up, buddy.
The beer will help.
Definitely. Might have the opposite effect, but we're gonna have a good time either way.
It might be like some sort of espresso coffee stout.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Not a fan, Tom?
That's a no from me.
Tom's quite the traditional beer drinker. Let's see those blank tins of beer.
You've been very generous in giving us a 440ml can rather than a 330. So
yes, so
very generous. Well, it depends on what it is, to be honest.
I was just waiting when Stuart dropped them off. When I saw the black can, I thought, has he just used a Sharpie and drawn over the label? And I was a bit worried to get ink all over my hands. But no, it is a proper black can.
Yes.
What did you drop them off on? Your scooter again? Did you just wheel up and throw them in the?
It was just on my bike
in the garden and
delivering papers, and beer.
That's a strange mixture, but I'm into it.
So only
did you get that pay increase you wanted for the bike round? You said you're shooting for 75p an hour now.
I think we've got to open that beer now.
It's quite a competitive rate, to be honest. Is it beer time already?
It is beer time.
Okay, we can do that. Let's do it.
Yes. Right. Okay. We can now hashtag that as ASMR.
So it's definitely not a stout, Tom. So I think you're okay.
I like a stout as long as it's not an espresso stout.
Vanilla.
It's quite hazy.
Yeah, I could get down with vanilla stout.
Knickerbocker Glory.
No, too far.
Well, I poured it. All types are wrong.
You pushed it too far. Whoa! I can smell it from here. Oh wow!
So, Stuart, I think you're going to have to go back to the drawing board and learn how to pour.
I've got another tumbler.
Try again.
I mean, how many episodes in and he still can't pour beer? Poor lad. Poor lad. That's wow. Okay. Well, at least we know you're drinking from a San Miguel glass. You brought the class.
Glass anyway. So
I like that. That's very fruity.
Yeah, something kind of tropical maybe.
Maybe Napa vibes possibly.
I'm gonna try and.
That was my first impression. Considering we've just made a New England IPA recently.
Ooh,
that's right. I believe it's this one.
That's the one.
Oh, nice.
Although we did get 2 bottles, so I'm sure he can send you one if he hasn't drunk all of them already.
I only remember getting one.
It's not that strong.
Likely story.
Now it's dissipated slightly.
Yes.
Lovely colour. Lovely colour. It is quite cloudy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely got quite an orangey to it.
Yeah, I think yours looks a bit darker than ours. I don't know if it's just poor lighting.
Yeah, I think it's the lighting.
Or too much lighting on our side.
It's Stu's sex dungeon that he records in. Stu, you need to take out the gag to make sure
this is one of these false
you get a good
backgrounds.
sip.
So
if I move too quickly, then you see the dungeon. But no, this is just a JPEG on behind me.
Make sure you stay perfectly still.
Lights behind you?
That's the chandelier. That is the chandelier in the corner there in the mirror. I can see it.
And a wee Scotland flag above my head for Unknown reasons.
Do you need a reason? No,
People would never guess you're Scottish.
I had no idea. I thought Stu was Chinese for the first 2 or 3 years that I knew him. You know, and it's only recently it's been revealed to me through the flag on his wall that he's Scottish. It's crazy.
And not the fact that I've been wearing a kilt for every YouTube video for the last year.
Well, I never see the bottom half, do I?
Dom won't ask what's under it if he does have a kilt on.
No, I'm interested now. Very,
You don't want to
very
know.
interested.
You and everyone else can find out on onlyfans.com/thelagerlogs.
That's not real, is it? I hope it's not real. What have you been up to while I've been away?
We've got to take the domain before someone else does.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
And
So
as long as there aren't any golden ale showers.
Golden ale showers.
I bet wasted perfectly good
Wow.
beer there.
That's one way of doing it.
So,
Oh, we're supposed to be drinking this. I haven't.
Yes.
Come on, catch up.
yeah,
Cheers.
please.
Cheers, lads.
You've got beer
Cheers,
in the
lads.
glass. Of course you're supposed to be drinking it. Yeah,
Didn't
I'm
come
trying
with
to-
instructions, so I'm very confused.
I'm trying to decide if there's something a bit different to it. It is quite IPA like, but without. I'm trying to think because I imagine you've probably picked one that's got some sort of different ingredient in it. It's not just going to be a standard IPA. There's
Let me change the can.
some sort of Yeah, additional. It's definitely a
Trust
New
me.
England style. It is pretty hazy.
There's not a lot of thought goes into this.
Bargains at the time.
So yeah, you'll find out by the end of it. Oh, that's why the silly prick chose that one.
I'm going to go with a 19.6% Turkish bock. Am I anywhere near the money there?
That's
Do we just have to take some sort of guesses and work our way towards the answer or multiple
we-
choice?
That's the
just
name of the
keep
game.
Recording until you've got it exactly right. Get the style.
I'm thinking it's not overly maybe 6%-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely not a weak one, but it's not like a mind-blowing 9% Belgian.
I think, yeah, you might be right. About 5 or 6. West Coast kind of vibes I'm getting from it, actually.
Right.
It's got a bit of bitterness there to it.
Okay. So Darren and David collectively are Bandsville Brewing. Just the only pair of homebrewers I know of. So, and consistent homebrewers. You know, you get a lot of people lockdown hobbies. They'll maybe come up with 1 or 2 beers, and then
I drank a lot of lockdown hobbies. I drank a lot of the lockdown champions as well, and a lot of lockdown John Smiths as well as hobbies. So it was a lot.
Someone's-
The whole
It did start off as a lockdown hobby, but I think that's about
the whole spectrum.
14 different beers I think we've made now.
Wow,
yes, that's it.
quite a catalogue.
Exactly. Like this is
There's
it.
some
Like
picture in the background.
some people would have given up by now.
They've all been pretty drinkable. I think if we messed up our first few, I think we probably would have. So we've had one batch go down the sink, and I managed to get blisters on my hands from accidentally picking up a pot of boiling water with metal handles. But
Whoops.
we tend to learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
So far, anyway.
Is that where you hold up to the camera and say, "This is our IPA"?
Well, we started using a proper mash kettle. That's made a difference because when we started off, it was just an experimental thing using a big soup pot, just on the cooker. But it would take hours to get the water up to temperature, and would really up until the early hours trying to do it. But we've upgraded and got a 30-litre mash kettle, so it's definitely sped up the process quite a bit.
Wow.
And definitely, also, I got to have a peek on one of the brew nights, and they aren't joking around. This isn't just like a half-arsed hobby. The fact, like,
It is. It definitely is.
It's full arsed. It's the whole arse.
yeah, like collectively together, they've got a full arse put into this, and
Not into
over
the
a
beer.
dozen beers.
There's definitely nothing arse related in the beers. Cleanliness is very important.
But I mean, that's when did it sort of click for you guys in the sense of like, you know what, we should brew beer. Like,
We-
how did that thought come into your head?
Now, just over 2 years ago, I think it was. So we make wine because we've got some greenhouse grapevines. So,
Mhm.
but you're kind of limited to just once a year, just whenever the grapes are ripe. So we just during lockdown, we just thought, well, at least beer, all you have to do is buy some barley and hops and yeast, and on you go whenever you like. So
Mhm.
that was the start of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, see, that's it, Tom. Like, lockdown hobbies, me and you drank beer and just recorded silly videos. These guys are actually going to the effort of making beer.
I feel shamed and embarrassed, to be
You
honest.
should.
And that's it. It's almost like to the stage where it's like lockdowns could have been that bad. It's like, Christ, I can't even go out to get beer. I'm going to have to just make my own.
It's got that
The
desperate.
mash kettle.
Yeah.
It does take quite a while though. So if you really fancy a drink, about 5 weeks in total to make it back carbonate. So yeah, I'm glad the shop stayed open.
Yes.
Which one of the beers that you've brewed to date has been your favourite style?
Oh, there's been too many. So when we first started,
I know
off,
it's probably like picking your children, but
Oh,
give me a name.
like
I
13,
can do
14
that,
of
but I
them.
won't.
It's
So
a big family.
To start off with, we just did pretty straightforward ones, just like a traditional English ale, and did an oatmeal stout. But that was definitely a learning experience because it wasn't until we were pretty much done with the mash that we thought, oh crap, we forgot to put the wheat and oats in it. So we had to quickly Google how to do a mini mash to get that to work. So I'm trying to remember what. Yeah, this was my favourite. My favourite name. So this was well, we just called them like originally IPA number 1, oatmeal stout number 1. So this is the first one that we named, and it was just as the first lockdown was lifting. Oh. This is quite disorientating doing this on camera.
Getting seasick. Just looking at it.
First attempt at a label design as well, because before it was all just text. So that was our first. Yeah, just boring stuff like this to begin with. So flavour wise, I think maybe this one. So we're both big Fraser fans, so we named it Nervosa after the coffee shop on Fraser. So
that's really cool.
we did a stout and just put some coffee in it. So that was our first one that went down the sink. Was an attempt at doing that. So we think it's maybe been when we're making the cold brew coffee, maybe something not been sterilised properly, and it just tasted a bit.
As simple as that.
It tasted quite citrusy for a stout, so something had gone wrong. But,
that doesn't sound like a good mix.
Yeah, so it was quite upsetting to pour a whole batch down the sink after all the effort we went into it. So that's the only time we've got to do that. Just one batch out of about 15, I think, because it's a pretty good success rate. Because I think
definitely
a lot of homebrews go pretty wrong. Like we're not experts or anything. We just there's a lot of learning as we go and wing it. Using online calculators to try and work things out. So, but it's been like the first one we made was we just kept it as simple as possible. I think was like East Kent Goldings. I think was the only hops that we used. It was like 2 types of grain and 1 hop. We thought just as simple a recipe as possible until we work out roughly how the whole process goes, and then we've got a bit more adventurous as we've gone along, but without because it's like family and friends that tend to just try it. We don't want to go too niche and put people off. We like trying to make different styles, but without being too strange that we have 50 odd bottles and nobody wants it. Yeah, we've done the coffee style. We've done an IPA that had lemon peel in the brew as well. That's about as adventurous as we've been.
Okay.
So far.
Yeah, I mean that's it. You don't want to go too far out and end up having like a whole batch of like Rocky Road stouts that no one wants.
That sounds quite nice.
It does, but then there's probably 4 of us that'll try it, and then the rest will go.
No, that's not for me.
Yeah, I definitely like to try something when and maybe like putting some sort of fruit in it. Not quite a sour beer, but something with fruit, or
Mhm.
maybe some like a stout with chocolate or something. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, when you said you're doing the coffee stout, like how did you get the coffee flavor into it? Because I've heard guys that have just chucked a pot of coffee into like the mix, and that just sounds reckless.
yeah, that was it. It was
There's no-
measured. So a colleague who has, I'm trying to remember, Sacred Grounds Coffee Company, if we're allowed to give shout outs to companies. They provided beer to 71 Brewing for some of their coffees.
Okay.
So we got some of their coffee, and yeah, it was basically just brewing a little batch of coffee. And we sort of measured it out and did some research on how much they had, because we wanted to get a bit of a coffee hit without being too overpowering. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, basically it was just the case. I think you can use coffee beans while you're making the brew, but yeah, I think the easiest way is just make a little batch of coffee and just add it in and just give it a little taste and see if it's the right sort of level.
Yeah, aye, because like in my head, I could just imagine, obviously, you've just got the brew mixing away, and you're standing there with like the gold blend and a big spoon and going one.
There is definitely no Nescafe in our beer.
Just go, you want sweetener or sugar in it? And then just like, but that's why I don't brew beer.
That's why you should never brew beer ever.
Especially like on that brew night I was there. Is that right? You could handle the yeast, and that's it. Just
Yeah, and it was sure, wash your hands. We know where they've been.
I always ask him before any show to just wash his hands. You never know where they've been, to be honest, ever. Your personal hygiene's gone downhill since you start recording, Stu, honestly.
I'm not willing to put them on camera at this time. So our next question, we went over some of your like brewing nightmares, but what's been like the highlights? Has there ever been like a chance that you've like we've spoke with guys like Broughton Ales before, where they found their beers show up in random places like Kilimanjaro? Has there been any really cool like you've passed your beers on someone and they've ended someplace weird or wonderful or
I'm trying to think what to expect, what you're wanting us to say, the latest Jurassic Park film, Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill were sharing a couple of bottles of it on set, or but
now, that would be a claim to fame, right?
Yeah, no, we've sent bottles to family and friends in England.
yeah.
I've taken a couple of bottles in the motorhome up to the Highlands. That's about as exciting as it's got. I think
That's as far as they've travelled.
Just having anybody say that they like them is always good to hear, because we are just we've just learned as we go, just doing some looking on websites and pretty much making it up as we go along, and just getting good feedback on, and we've had quite a few people, and we've asking when we're making our next one, and
That's good.
just get some good feedback. And
Exactly, it's encouraging.
Repeat drinkers, I think, it's always a good sign. If it wasn't very good, they wouldn't want to try the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got to say, the blue tip best bitter was incredible. I think one of the most.
How long ago that was?
That was. I think that was last year now, but honestly, it was beautiful. I remember very nutty, very yeasty. What's the secret? Let's go behind the scenes, guys. What happened with that particular brew? Because I'm interested, because it was fantastic.
Originally, we did consider calling it Blue Dog, but we thought
you thought I love tits. Let's put it together.
It was more we're a bit worried about another Scottish brewery perhaps being a bit disappointed in sending the legal team to us, so we decided in Blue Tits rather than Blue Dogs. Although the Blue Tits bottle looks a bit Twitter-ish.
Yeah, actually,
so from one potential court case to another.
Yes,
I'll just put it out there. I think it's better than any of that shit that they produce. So, guys,
it's not as if you are calling yourselves Bro Dogs or something.
That's a good name, actually.
I could see some
I like that a lot.
I could see a cease and desist letter showing up promptly.
Mm.
But
That might be fun.
okay, last of the home brewing questions. Where do you see yourselves in 5 years?
Oh, is this a job interview or what? Stu? Jesus, leave the poor
Maybe
guys
like
alone.
where you opening your first tap room?
Well, I've always had this dream of along the end of leaving prom. It used to be a snooker hall and amusements, and it's got a big glass front and it looks out over the water. The rail link's going to be just across the road. So Drygate Brewing gave us the idea when we visited them. They've got a bar and restaurant, but they've got a big window where you can see through to the brewery. I think.
Oh yeah, so it has.
Oh yeah, is that
we
where
were
we
there,
went, Stu? Yeah.
There's
I
nothing
remember
really
that.
like that around here. And being at the end of the prom, almost right next to a railway station, and you could have tables outside looking out over the sea. That would be the dream. But it's whether I want to give up the comfy job at the council. I think if even a small lottery win, just enough to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a nice little bar selling like some decent local beer and probably some wine as well. We're interested in wine as well, so have that. Just some little snacks like tapas sort of type things on the bar, like in the summer, sitting outside, cool beer, eating some tapas, looking out over the sea. That's the dream.
So, what are we thinking of the beer? Have we kind of nailed the style?
It's quite nice. It's nice and fruity, but I've still got there's a hint of something that I'm struggling to put my finger on.
I need to.
I still suspect that you wouldn't have just gone for something plain and unobvious. There's a hint of something that. No, I've known Stuart long enough. I think he would be quite boring and just go for something plain and have us. He's going to have us thinking. He's going for something really interesting and quirky, and
it's not.
He's going for something a bit bland.
This guy knows me. This guy knows me.
Just trying to match your personality.
It's throwing me off a little bit. I definitely agree. It's an IPA. It's about 5.5, possibly 6, but it smells quite fruity. But I don't think it's fruity enough to be a NEPA. I feel like it's more of a West Coast IPA kind of vibe with that bitterness. But I don't know I don't think there is a secret ingredient. I can't taste one. Or there's not a hint of one. I'm thinking it's just a really rock solid West Coast IPA, possibly known stew from a Scottish craft company.
I'm going to say I don't think it's too bitter, and the haziness as well.
No, it's got a nice bitterness to it, like a really really nice bitterness.
Yeah, but I'm not willing to commit on what the secret ingredient is. But I'm still saying that there must be one. It's like.
Is it hobo piss or baby piss, guys? Which
a
one?
milkshake IPA or something.
No, he reserves that for me, sadly. You guys get a pretty good beer. I get all the cast-offs.
You're all wrong. It's Birra Moretti. No, I'm kidding.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I think we'd just walk off if that was the case.
Yeah, you'd have to.
The glass.
So
wipe it off the beers off the counter.
Not that we're experts, but I think I'd be able to tell the difference between a lager and something that's not a lager.
Yeah, some macro lager all brewed in the same factory, but supposedly it's from Italy or.
Which country is this one from? Are you willing to tell us?
Oh, come on, just tell us what it is.
it's Scottish. It's
Okay,
Scottish. It's Scottish.
They're all Scottish. You know me. It's most likely from Aldi or Lidl's.
It's
got to be Scottish.
It's Guinness, and you've bleached the colour out of it.
What?
Yes, enjoy Guinness Nitro Surge White.
I'm into it.
So, okay, let's go for the reveal. The mystery beer is.
Wait a minute. Oh, I was waiting for the
Double IPA. How much?
7.4%.
Oh, a little bit stronger than
IPA.
I thought. But at least we did get the juicy.
Yeah,
I think
Catch it out there for a second.
fruitiness is probably masking that alcohol quite a bit. It doesn't taste like a 7.4.
Jeez. I don't think so either. No.
I'm quite worried that we're for people watching later. It is about just after 10:30 p.m. and Stuart's trying to get us drunk on beer that's over 7%. So we've got work in the morning as well.
Yeah. Hey, this is the first show we're recording tonight. We've got more to do after you leave.
So what's on the description? What
It is.
seeing papaya or mango or something?
They don't give any of those details away. It is described as a super hopped double IPA that delivered waves of tropical fruits against a soft and smooth malty backbone.
On that, yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's a bit more bitter and a bit more maltier than I would expect from an IPA, which I like. I like a lot. I really dig this.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice.
Yeah,
and I'm sure I have seen this in Aldi.
Yes, that's definitely. I think it was the last year's core range of beers you would get in an Aldi. They've now been phased out and replaced with some new ones.
You can tell he's not been to the service station at Fruchi and paid £5-6 a can.
Oh no,
not recently.
Not for this show.
No.
Yeah, what do you mean? I have to buy 4 of these? Fuck that.
Stu hates multi-packs. This is a thing that I've come to recognise on the show.
Hello, clearance aisle.
I think it killed him to buy a Stones 4-pack for like £3 about 2 years ago. So since then, never again.
Well, I think our next beer, we've got ingredients for making we're hoping for quite a creamy stout. So it'll be the first time using lactose in a beer as well. So because the stouts we made before, they weren't quite as full-bodied as what we were hoping for. So we're going to go for a nice big full creamy one. Then after that, we probably should just go a bit crazy. We've both got greenhouses. We've got
Strawberries.
Yep, tomatoes growing as well. Cucumber.
Okay.
Cucumber sounds strange, but it might actually work like a summery, a crisp summery sort of type of beer.
Spring onions.
I could see a
Rhubarb,
greenhouse cucumber sour. I've never heard of that combination before.
Greenhouse gases sour. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's just
Sounds
look
pretty good.
out for our next Greek salad beer. We'll leave the feta out, but yeah, like cucumber.
Oh, imagine a beer that kind of smells like pickles. All right, we're spilling all this gold. We should be copywriting all of these ideas.
I was going to say these are secrets, government secrets, guys. We're revealing in now. Need to.
But
chill.
We're at the end. We've revealed the beer. We've pretty much drank the beer.
We're not finished yet. Now we are.
Yeah. I guess if you want to follow the Bandsville Brews and their
hold on,
journey
before you
with
get into
beer,
that, Stu, I need to ask what the whole audience, I definitely know, has been thinking the whole entire show. Are you guys twins or clones?
No, we're twins. Definitely twins.
There we go. Thank God. Thank
I
God.
don't think they've got as
Because I thought this was some strange, very interesting government kind of science project. Lads, I need to know, so I'm glad that it was like a natural situation rather than something that was
I'm glad you're here.
man-made.
Because-
It just freaked me out, you know.
If we did start a proper brewery, I suppose cloning probably would be quite helpful because I don't think would you have to pay them all the same, or could we just send them to work in the brewery, packing boxes, sticking labels on?
It depends if they're sheep or not, I suppose. You know.
But I've completely forgotten what the hell I wanted to say.
It is a tragedy. Yes, I agree.
I love all these highbrow conversations that you have on your show. It really
have you not seen the show before? It's always extremely highbrow.
I like the fact that you have brought this up, Tom.
Yeah.
Because it's like our last episode, we done a whole show with a magician, and it wasn't until after we stopped recording we thought we didn't even ask for a fucking trick.
Oh no, dude. We really missed a trick. There.
I've made that joke already.
When?
Do you have any tricks you could show us before we end the show?
No, we don't.
I think you performed pretty good just getting people to watch this.
Oh! Oh!
I think that is a bit harsh because
Bastard.
Ace turned up.
People. Do family members class as people?
Oh.
Oh, no.